Welcome everybody to another special edition book reading for Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm your host, Erica Guajardo, and today we're going to be learning about Frida Kahlo. We are inspired by this week's MacDoodles, which features Lilia Estrada and her exploration on Frida Kahlo. To dive further into her life, let's read this book, which is intended for children around 6 years old and up. So, if you're ready to learn more about Frida and her life, I'm ready to tell you a tale. Frida by Jonah Winter, illustrated by Ana Juan. For my mother, J.W. To the little artist who is in your heart, A.J. Frida enters the world. For little Frida, the world is Mexico. Her house is a blue house. It is in town of Coyoacán. Frida's father is an artist and a photographer. He teaches her how to use a paintbrush. Frida's mother takes care of 6 daughters. Often, she is tired. Often, Frida is lonely, even though she has sisters. Enter stage left. Frida's imaginary friend. Her name is Frida as well. They play games. All of a sudden, Frida falls very ill. She is in bed for months. There's something wrong with one of her legs. Even her imaginary friend can cheer her up. That's when Frida teaches herself how to draw. Drawing saves her from being sad. After Frida gets well, she still wants to make art. So she paints little paintings. They are copies of other paintings. Painting onto photographs is what Frida's father does for a living. He teaches her how to do this too. Frida also paints things she sees through a microscope. She loves looking at things very closely. At school, Frida studies science. She is bored. School is too easy. One day, Frida is riding the bus home from school. A horrible accident happens. A trolley runs into the bus. Frida almost dies. In the hospital, it is painting that saves her once again. Painting is like her imaginary friend. It is there whenever she wants it. It keeps her company. It keeps her from giving us up hope. It keeps her from giving up hope. After the accident, life will never be the same for Frida. She will walk with a cane when she is able to walk. Her body will hurt, always. But Frida doesn't cry or complain. Instead of crying, she paints pictures of herself crying. When she can't leave her bed, she paints in bed. When her whole torso is put in a cast, she paints on the cast. Nothing can stop Frida from painting because she's so often alone, unable to leave her house. She has to use her imagination. She paints what she sees in her heart, on top of what she sees with her eyes. It's almost like painting on photographs. She paints little magical scenes with words at the bottom. All over Mexico, people paint these kinds of scenes. Sometimes they are scenes of accidents with angels coming to the rescue. They are like prayers for people who are sick. They are called ex-votos. Frida paints ex-votos of herself when she is sick or in pain. Frida imitates no one in her style. Her paintings are like nothing else. In museums, people still look at them and weep and sigh and smile. She turns her paint into something beautiful. It is like a miracle. Viva Frida! Long live Frida! Author's note. Frida Kahlo was born on July 6, 1907, in Coyoacan, Mexico, to Guillermo Kahlo and Matilde Galtron de Kahlo. At the age of 7, she was stricken with polio, confined to a bed for 9 months, and left with a shrunken right leg and a limp. At the age of 18, she was in a horrible bus accident that is too nightmarish to describe here. It is a miracle that she survived and that she was able to produce any art, considering the constant pain she was in throughout the rest of her life. That her paintings are among the most beautiful and original art ever created is a monument to Kahlo's indomitable spirit and willpower. That her paintings continue to exhibit in museums all over the world and are reproduced in books, on posters, and even in advertisements is proof of her lasting popularity. Kahlo's popularity, which has been increasingly steady over the years since her death on July 13, 1954, began to grow when she married the world-renowned Mexican muralist Diego Rivera in 1929. Their personalities were both so colorful and their love for each other so intense that their marriage remains one of the most famous of the 20th century. But it wasn't merely Kahlo's association with the celebrated Rivera that sparked an ongoing public fascination with her. Her painful story is so inspirational that she has become a role model for artists in general, who often must work under difficult conditions. She has specifically been an inspiration to women artists who have found in Kahlo's strength, courage, and pizzazz an example of how to thrive as a woman in an art world dominated by men. Artist note. World-renowned painter Frida Kahlo made an important contribution to Mexican art and culture, and in turn, Mexican art and culture played an important part in Frida's development as an artist. For this reason, I have portrayed traditional characters in Mexican folk art, funny skeletons, little devils, sweet jaguars, and others, as constant companions throughout her life. These are images that she would have seen in her childhood home, in the markets of her town, and in books. Photographs of the home she shared with Diego Rivera show these characters proudly displayed in the folk art that decorated their rooms. And as these characters inspired Frida Kahlo, so has Frida Kahlo inspired me. I hope she will inspire you too. that you enjoyed that tale. And make sure that if you enjoy books like these and learning more about Hispanic Heritage Month, to go and visit the Mesquite Public Library. Until we see each other again, stay safe